Divine partners, divine life purpose, soulmates, twin flames, call them however you want. Do they exist according to the law of assumption? Is there even a straight answer? Many will just like to say, oh, for the law of assumption is just what you assume, therefore they don't exist. It's actually not that simple, because as we learned with quantum physics, statement A is as true as statement B, and actually reality is observant dependent. So the answer to this question is a little bit more complex, but interestingly enough, we're going to talk about it in this video if you guys are interested. If you are, subscribe and follow up this video. Hello everyone, my name is Naya, and on this channel we talk everything about law of assumption, manifestation, and so much more. And in today's video, we're gonna do things slightly different. So we're gonna talk about a topic that is very interesting and dear to my heart, and that can really make us understand a little bit more about the metaphysical world and consciousness at large. Sometimes when we're talking about the law of assumption, we only focus on how to manifest money, how to manifest love, and we never go deeper into spiritual topics such as angels or spirit guides, what there is in the afterlife, more occult perspectives, and we just think that reality boils down to one law, when there in actuality, spiritually speaking, there is so much more to talk about, and actually metaphysical and spiritual concept go hand in hand with the concept of the law when properly explained. So today we're gonna try to do this, especially talking about soulmates, twin flame, call them however you want. Now I'm not gonna make the difference in this video between soulmates and twin flames. I already did in previous videos, so bear with me. Divine partners, that's how we're gonna call them, and divine life purpose, because this is a topic that many teachers have talked about, especially one of my dear favorite, Florence Scovel-Shinn. Neville, I think, is one of the only one that didn't touch particularly on this, at least not that I have read, and there is a specific reason for that, because he was very much into teaching people how to manifest, and there's nothing wrong with that. But many other teachers have talked about this, like for example even Vadim Zeland, who is a quantum physicist, Russian quantum physicist, and the creator of reality transurfing. He talked about divine matches, higher life purpose as well, and he calls it the frail, I think, but it doesn't matter, it's always the same thing. Many other teachers. Florence Scovel-Shinn, in my opinion, is the author that talks about it in the most straightforward way and simplest way. But let's talk about these two concepts: life purpose, divine purpose, and divine match according to law of assumption. So what we know that reality is observant dependent, and we know that our belief system, not only our thoughts but our dominant thoughts, create our own reality. Now within this scenario, we can say that there are infinite possibilities that already exist in the quantum field as creation is finished for our life. Time is an illusion in the sense that time is only real, there is only the present moment to experience, and we have multiple life tracks, okay? So think about your life and your various possibility of life. I hope you can see, can you see the iPad? Yeah, like something like straight lines there. It's not like this at all, the quantum field, but we're just gonna give a representation with multiple infinite possibilities of life. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like multiple and infinite possibilities, okay? Now within these possibilities, according to belief system, so if reality is observant dependent and our belief create reality, there is one of these lines represent your version, the version of you that lives reality thinking that soulmates don't exist, and therefore divine match or divine purposes don't exist. So when people say, well, really reality is assumption dependent, I don't believe in soulmates, therefore I am not going to manifest them in my life, it's very true. Like, you're not going to experience what you don't believe in. But at the same time, it is true that there is a version of you that doesn't believe in the law of assumption and believes in predeterminism. So for the majority of mainstream science, actually destiny exist, meaning in other words that the world is determined and there is nothing such as free will. Many people think that the mainstream science believes in free will. This is absolutely untrue. The majority of scientists believe that free will is bollocks and everything is predetermined. So there is a version of you that believes in determinism, and in that version of you there are other fractions and version of you that believes that there is a soulmate that is predetermined to them, because every statement is possible and true in the infinite quantum world. The decision is yours to create whatever it is that you want. However, in all of these assumptions and belief system, there is something called source energy, nevertheless, which is infinite intelligence and is consciousness, where we all come from. And this is where things get a little bit more esoteric. Now, you cannot believe in God, and that's another assumption, another reality that you are creating for yourself, but that doesn't mean that it's not true. That doesn't mean that it doesn't exist 100%. You know, actually, if you believe in spirit, you might believe that you come from somewhere. And if you believe that everyone is you pushed out, then the entire assumption of consciousness does make sense, because we are all one consciousness. So assuming that you believe in infinite intelligence and in consciousness, where we all come from, I assume that you believe in souls, so that you are a part of this consciousness after your ego and after your body, which is the main theme of spirituality in and of itself, that we are something beyond the body and behind the mind. And if we are indeed consciousness, which I assume many of you will agree, and then we are something beyond body and mind, and because we are consciousness, we can manifest. It's not just because we have free will, but because we are consciousness, we can affect consciousness and therefore manifest. We can also assume, spiritually speaking, that not only we come from the spirit world and we come from somewhere, that there are other entities within this realm of consciousness that are not just human. And I'm not talking about aliens, but I'm talking about spirit guides, totem animals, energy fields, and all of that. The fact that science didn't discover it yet doesn't mean that they don't exist, by the way, for those of you who are skepticals. But anyway, spiritually speaking, there is source energy. We are extensions of source energy. We reside in the spirit world because we are eternal beings beyond body and mind and beyond our ego. Then we can probably assume within this mindset that our soul come to this existence with a sort of a plan. Or do you just think that souls come here just randomly jumping into this existence and jumping on earth? That's not actually, I mean, some of them actually do, but that's not actually how it works. Soul come here within a cluster of soul family, within the souls that they already known with each other, to learn, lesson, to improve, and to become even better manifester, to remember that they are God, to remember that they are conscious creators, and they do it in the play or in the game of life, as Florence Scovel-Shinn would like to say. So, if you are following me, yes, you can manifest any specific person you want. Anyone can be turned into a soulmate. Yes, you can choose whatever life purpose you want. You can do whatever you want as a conscious manifester. So let's talk about the lines of life, the possibilities of life. Within these possibilities of life, they are branching out from you and your mind and your decision. You can choose to go in any of these lines. You can choose to go anywhere you want. But even if you can choose to create everything that you want, that doesn't mean that there isn't a higher pathways. That doesn't mean that there isn't a pathway that is more preferable to your soul, because it serves the expansion of consciousness and it serves the expansion of your soul at large. Like I said before, your soul incarnates in this existence with particular intentions. And not only your soul can see the multiple possibilities of the finish line, let's say the end of your life and the outcomes that you can generate, but it prefers a certain outcome. So your soul has preference. Why? Because it wants you to experience the best life that you can possibly get. The soul comes from a place of eternal love, eternal expansion, eternal bliss, eternal joy. It doesn't want to make you experience things that you cannot learn from. It doesn't want to make you experience a lower negative energy. It wants you to experience true love. It wants you to win the game of life, essentially, to experience abundance, joy, peacefulness, true love, true unions, and so on and so forth. Now, the way it's going to play out specifically for you might be different than for me, but that doesn't mean that the outcome is different. We all want to win as souls the game of life. And this is where the concept of alignment, divine match, and divine purpose comes into place. I and you can manifest every specific person in the planet that we want to, but are every person in the planet gonna make us happy and being a match to us in energy, in emotions, in mind-wise and spiritually wise? No. And this is why many relationship fails. Look around. Do you see a lot of people being in absolute alignment with themselves and with other partners? No, I've been there before, and I'm sure you have been too. You can manifest every money that you want and every career that you want. But why then, even when people manifest their specific career that they wanted, sometimes they end up miserable, and they end up finding that what they want, it wasn't actually what their spirit wanted. And that's where they try to find more meaning in their life or a higher life track. Because of this, because the soul has a preference. Now, I'm not going to stand here and say, hey, you just have to go for your divine match. You just have to go for your divine life purpose. You do whatever you want. Like, I don't care. You manifest whatever you want, because whatever you desire is meant for you for a reason. And you can jump on multiple life tracks. You can change your mind. Again, disclaimer, you can do whatever you want. But through many years of my personal experience and studying the law, even though I have the consciousness and the awareness that I can manifest everything that I want, the more I grow up, the more I grow older, the more I tend to agree with Florence Scovel Shinn, Vadim Zeland, and many others that say when you are in alignment with your soul, with the preferences that your soul has made before incarnation, and right now in the spirit world, the easier it is to manifest certain things. And not only it is easier, but it fulfills a greater sense of joy. Because what it's happening is, let's say that, and I'm talking from a person that has manifested everything that I wanted, like success with music, success with YouTube, success of various kind, meeting various kind of people, famous, not famous, like money, a lot of money, not a lot of money, a lot. I manifested like a lot. And when I went with the flow of my higher life track, as Vadim will put it, or as Florence Scovel Shinn will put it, it changed and transformed my life. And this is why I like to make this kind of videos. So let's say that your specific desire, you were really low in consciousness, so over here, poor, not happy, like feeling like crap, and then you want a specific person that might be somewhere higher in this tracks, and you get it and you find yourself over here. But in the meantime that you're doing this with your specific person, there is something that happened within you, and this happens a lot of time, where your self-concept has risen so much and you end up in the life track with this specific person, and you end up thinking, I actually don't want them anymore. I feel so much higher than this. This can happen, and it happened to so many of you. Why? Because you realize that there are higher life tracks. And what your soul is trying to do is trying to raise you up and push you in this higher life tracks, where actually there is someone, or even a job, a career, and all the rest that comes with a higher life track that is going to make you so happy and so joyful and so fulfilled. And your soul, when you feel like sense of dissatisfaction, like you got what you wanted, but then you want more, and it's like you don't really understand why you feel so empty on the inside, and there is something else that is pushing you. This is your soul pushing you up. And there are going to be forces that are going to push you down and go back to square one. But when you feel the urge to be pushed up, I want you to know that you can stay here if you decide and you want to stay here, but you don't have to. You can find more alignment. You can have more. You can have better if you want to. Again, if you want to. And you can even, let's say you are in this low life track, okay? You can even say, I don't even want to get here in the middle. Let's delete the middle. I want to go, where is it? Oh, it's not working anymore. I want to go higher and higher. I don't know why the pen is not working anymore. I want to go higher and higher from that low moment, from that low life track. I want to manifest the highest life track I can possibly manifest, like my divine match, my divine purpose, my divine peace, my divine joy. I want to be in complete alignment with my soul, and therefore with infinite intelligence and source energy. I am going to have faith that my soul knows better. You can even do that. And that's where I believe, and this is only my personal belief, you are going to have the greatest achievements if you just jump to that. But you don't have to. Like so many people, and I've been there myself, I wanted to manifest the very specific things before I realized this. So within this context, divine matches and divine life purpose, do they exist? Yes. Can you create that they don't exist? Yes. Will I suggest you to do so? Why would you? If you know that there is something like the soul, and there is this infinite consciousness, infinite intelligence that loves you and wants your expansions, and spirit guides that are there helping you out, helping you, angels and archangels, helping humanity raise in consciousness. And I know this sounds very esoteric for so many of you. Why would you choose less than what you deserve? And you can, and many people do, and it's heartbreaking in my opinion, but it doesn't matter because we do have free will in that sense. So it's up to you, but don't think that you have to control everything. And if you don't believe me, read Florence Kovoshin. She has a marvelous way of explaining what a divine match and a divine purpose is, and what a divine match more than soulmates are. It's beautiful. And just remember that you can do whatever you want, but that doesn't mean that your soul doesn't have a preference. Like, for example, I can give you my examples. I wanted to be a singer, and I think I can sing, and I did manifested that, and I manifested labels signing me up and touring. And I even talked about with big labels like Universal Music Group to sign my album and things like that. And then at some point when I was 26, I realized that I wasn't happy with that, and I couldn't understand why. I was getting everything that I wanted. I manifested specifically everything that I wanted. I was getting the attention. I was getting on magazines and things like that. If you Google, my real name is listed as musician, because that's what I've been doing for the longest time. Why did I give it all up? Why? Because I just wasn't happy. It didn't somehow, some way make me joyful. And I'm not talking about you. I'm not saying that if this is your dream, that is not going to make you happy. I'm talking about me. Remember that. Don't project stuff. Like, some people, that is your divine purpose, is to be a musician, and that's completely fine. But it wasn't mine. I wasn't helping anyone. I wasn't creating value to anyone. I was creating good music, I think, but somehow, some way, there was something better for me. And then I never wanted to do YouTube. That's the thing. When I started YouTube, I never wanted to do YouTube. But I remember that I gave up on music, and I just said, God, show me the way. Show me the way. Where do I need to go? And through a series of events, I ended up on YouTube, and I ended up helping, God knows, in 7 years that I've been here, so many people. And the joy that every single reviews, that every single message that you guys have sent me has made in my heart, there is no comparison to all the concerts that I have made with my music. Like the human content that I have from this job, the fact that I can just earn money by being myself, by teaching the things that I've always loved, and I can actually help and talk to you guys, and it's just been a game changer and mind-blowing for me. And probably it's not even over yet in terms of like what it is my divine match. So because of my experience, I know that you can manifest everything that you want, and I never want these videos to feel like I'm blocking you in that, because you can generate happiness in whatever shape or form. But at the same, and so I think that is true, but at the same time, I also think that Florence Kovoshin is correct when she's saying divine matches and divine purpose do exist. So both of statements are true. It's your own preference at the end of the day, but sometimes releasing and going with what my soul had a preference to has made a huge impact in my life and has improved drastically my life. I generated so much more money, abundance, love, and values that I would have ever done if I would have stubbornly remained stuck into the middle life tracks. I just shoot for, let's get to the highest life track and let's get it now. Let's do it now. And that's my perspective. Now, if you want to know more about this perspective, there are many authors that talked about this. Like I said, Florence Scovel Shinn, Vadim Zeland, and I think there are many others that don't come into mind, but if you know them, comment them down below that they do believe in the concept of divine match, divine purpose, and generally speaking, of higher life tracks. And all of these teachers will tell you the fact that a higher life track exists doesn't mean that you have to manifest it if you don't want to. Okay, so just try to open your mind and see the world as more in a quantum way, and trying to understand that the world is not either black or white, but it's millions of shades of gray and colors even, and that all the statements are true. It's just a matter of what you choose to be true for yourself and what serves your expansion. Okay, this video was so freaking long. I hope it made some sense. I love you guys and see you very soon on this channel. Bye.